What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video I'm going to share with you the number one tool that I cannot live without on Airbnb. This is the one tool that I've used to generate over $30,000 in one single month with a property on Airbnb, and how I've been able to bring in over $100,000 in the last 6 months on just one property on Airbnb. Now I detailed that in one of our latest videos as well and kind of broke it down, showed you the month by month, and actually showed you behind the scenes on the listing. So if you haven't checked out that video, make sure you go and do it as well now. Now, if you want access to tools like the one I'm about to show you here, and you want to learn how to invest successfully in short-term rental and get insane returns, get incredible cash flow from your property so you can quit your 9-to-5 and live a life of freedom investing in short-term rental properties, then be sure to check out the link in the description down below. This is not a gimmick. This is absolutely insane, the returns you can get investing in short-term rentals, but it doesn't come without work, and it doesn't come without knowledge and skill. So if you want to develop that knowledge and skill, and if you're ready to put in that work, then just make sure you click the link down in the description down below. Check out that free training. And if you're interested, you can also set up a completely free strategy session with my business partner Riley after that. So I highly recommend that you check out that video, that free training, you check out that call with Riley to make sure that you get on the right track for investing in short-term rental properties. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it here. And we're going to start off inside. So this is our portal that we've got, but all you can see, as you can see here, all this is a Google sheet that's embedded on the page. So it's basically an Excel spreadsheet is all that is. And it's the number one tool that I absolutely recommend to all of our students to use, and that we use religiously ourselves in making sure that our properties perform incredibly well. And it's called the Target Occupancy Rate Tracking Spreadsheet. Fancy word. Basically, all it means is that basically we have a target. So to break it all down here, we've got a seasonal occupancy rate target. Now this is going to vary based on the area that your property is located in and the type of property you have. So for us, we're in an area where there's some heavy hitting months and there's some low season months, so you can see. So like July and August, that place is going to be 100% booked. You're going to get every single night occupied. Whereas January, you're probably only going to be able to get about 50%, not 25, 50% of your nights occupied. So that's really helpful to know. What is the actual goal? So a lot of hosts go in blind. A lot of people that have properties on short-term rental, they're just trying to maximize their revenue, or they're trying to maximize their occupancy rate or get a really high nightly rate. They just don't have clarity on what the goal is, and the goal changes depending on the season that you're in, depending on the type of property that you have. So it's really important to be mindful of that. Now, we grab these from a data mining website that gives us these averages for the top performing properties in our market. So these are the benchmarks that we need to hit if we're going to be one of the top 25% of all listings in our area that our property is located. And then we've got benchmarks right here that tell us how many days into the future we should be getting bookings. So that's really important because it factors it in here. And so what a lot of people do when they're managing properties on short-term rental is, you can imagine if we're in December right now. So when I'm recording this video, we're just getting into December, and imagine a lot of hosts, they have an idea of what they want to earn in December, and they've had their prices set, and their nights opened up for the month of December for months and months now. They open it up in their calendar a long time ago. And what they're just realizing now, just mere days before the month begins, is that they're not at their goal, right? And so what do? Well, they panic and they go and drop down their rates. But that's not a really effective strategy. What would be even better, because ultimately if they do that, then you don't know how many bookings they missed out on had they had the right strategies, the right tools, and been able to go 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 2 months ago, and lower those prices slightly, instead of having to wait until the last minute and lower those prices drastically. So what we want to know is right now, how many bookings should we have for January? And how many bookings should we have for February and March and even April? How many bookings should we have, so that we know if we're on track to our goal based on where we should be at this point in time? So I know it might seem confusing, but it makes a lot of sense and it's really easy once you have this tool here. So let's take a look at December as a good example of this, right? So right now we're just coming into December and this tool is built to make it just super, super easy. All we had to do is put in our seasonal occupancy rate and then this just auto calculates, how many total days that we're looking to have booked. So the target we know in order for our property to be a top performer is to be 90% occupied in the month of December. And that means that 28 out of December's 31 days would be booked, but that's by the end of the month. That's by the time that the month is all said and done, we want to have 28 days booked. We're just getting into December though, and we know that a lot of our bookings are going to come in last minute. So what we want to know is, based on how far out the end of December is, what is our target occupancy rate right now? Meaning, obviously we want to have 28 days booked in total by the end of December, but right now, as it stands right now we're November 30th, how many of those 28 days should already be booked? And that number is 14. Now we know that by, again, having these benchmarks here. We lay this out in more detail inside the free training that's linked down below, where we get that, how we use this tool, all that stuff. So you want more detail on all the inner workings, just check out that link in the description down below for that free training. So we know that our goal is to have 14 nights booked. Now, here's what we go, okay, well, what we actually have booked is 12 nights, and that's just a manual input. So you can see all we needed to do was put in this target and then it automatically calculated all this other stuff. That's just formulas. This is just a formula. So that's all easy. This is the only other column that we ever need to look at, and then it just tells us what to do. And all I do is just open up my calendar on Airbnb. I go and I look at how many days we actually have booked for December, which right now, as of the time of this recording, is 12. And so if the goal is 14 and we actually have 12 nights booked, then where are we relative to our goal? Well, we're under by 2. So if we're underbooked by 2, meaning we should have a couple more bookings right now, just 2 nights more. So really just 1 booking more for a 2-night stay. So we maybe want to lower our rates. So that's good to know. We maybe want to lower our rates based on the fact that we're underbooked. Now, if we were overbooked, let's say, so let's look at January. January, we know the same thing. So the seasonal occupancy rate is 50%. So our target number of days booked for January is 16. And right now, we should have 25% of that. So we should have 4 nights booked right now for January. By the time January is all said and done, we're aiming to have 16 nights booked. And right now, we should have 4 nights booked. Well, in reality, we actually have 8 nights booked for January. So we're actually ahead of where we should be. And that means that our pricing is very likely too low for January. So what's this tool tell us to do? It says we're overbooked by 4, so we should raise our rates. And you can see the difference here. This one says maybe lower rates. This one says definitely raise rates. And that's based on how drastic the difference is between your goal and where you're actually at. Here, it's just a slight difference. We're under by 2, whereas in this one, it's more drastic. We're overbooked by 4. We're double what we should be. So it's telling us we should definitely raise our rates. And you can see for this month, it just says we're on track, looking good. Now, these months I wanted to keep in here. Now, typically what we do is we would update these because we would look forward ahead. And obviously for July 2022, we don't have 29 days booked already. These are the numbers that I had already in here for this year so far. And so I want to show you exactly how this played out. We've got all of our goals, and these are obviously dead and gone months here now. We've already passed through them. And so if you look, I've also aggregated on the side here what our actual bookings were for all these months that we've had the listing live, and then what our targets were. So here you can see this is our target numbers for these months based on being a top performing listing. And then these are our actual numbers that we've got right up until December, what we've actually got booked. And you can see that the goal to be a top performing listing is $104,700 in bookings. It's a lot of bookings. That's the goal. And you can see the sum total of what we've actually got booked up to date is just a little bit over that at $107,000 in total bookings that we've got. So you can see here, we're really tightly in line with these goals, and the way that we were able to do that we were able to achieve that insane, amazing performance is by using this tool. It tells us, so we actually know, months out into the future. You can see I can already look right here for March of 2022, several months out into the future, and I know that I should maybe lower my rates for that month based on how the property is looking right now, based on where we're at right now, and what the goal is. We should have 2 nights booked, and we don't have any nights booked for March. Whereas for April, we have 3 nights booked, and we should have 3. We're on track for April. We are looking really good. So you can see this tool just allows you to make decisions way sooner. You don't have to wait until right before the date becomes open and then go, oh my gosh, I have to panic and drop my rates down. I'm gonna make slight adjustments up and down depending on how I'm doing towards my goal, and I'm gonna make those adjustments months in advance of those dates actually opening up, so that again, we can come in here, we can look, and I'm actually gonna be right on track or ahead of my goal. So that's really important. It's the most important thing when it comes to performing well on Airbnb and short-term rental, is just having a tool like this and knowing how to use it to optimize your prices far out in advance into the future, make those micro adjustments to stay on track towards the macro goal. So I hope this has been insightful, a little look inside behind the scenes at the tools that we use to make sure that our properties perform well. Now, again, if you want access to tools like this, if you want to learn more in depth, all the strategies we use to make sure that our properties perform incredibly well and are able to cash flow insane numbers and get an amazing return on investment, then I highly recommend that you check out the link in the description down below. Check out that free training, register, grab yourself a spot before it's too late. You know, using a tool like this, not only does it make an incredible difference in the performance of the property, but it also means that now I can go in and I can manage my pricing in a couple minutes a day. You know, at this point, I've actually outsourced it. I don't even do it myself, but even when I was doing it, it's literally just taking a couple minutes, and I don't even do it every day. I go in there, you know, twice every week, honestly, is about as often as I'll go in there and update prices, because you don't need to be doing it on a daily basis. And it takes me nothing more than maybe 20 minutes to go and look at where I'm at, look at where I should be, and make slight adjustments to the pricing. So it makes it really streamlined, data-driven, so that you're not guessing and trying to figure out where you should be without any real evidence or any real, you know, solid data behind it. Makes it very easy, makes your returns way more substantial, and this is honestly just the best way to invest and to you know, make sure that you maximize the return on your investment. So again, if you want more access to tools like this, if you want more training on exactly how to invest successfully in short-term rentals, then I highly recommend that you check out the link in the description down below to our free training that we put together. And I also recommend that after that training, it's going to give you an opportunity to set up a free strategy call with my business partner, Riley. And I highly recommend you take us up on that. He is not going to be able to do these forever. We're going to be limiting the capacity on these drastically. So I highly recommend that you grab the chance to get a free strategy session with him before it's too late. So again, I hope this has been really valuable for you. If you did like this video, then please show me some love, give it a thumbs up, hit that like button. It really helps me out tremendously with growing this channel. Also, if you're new here and you are not yet subscribed, or if you're old here and you're not subscribed, or whatever you are, if you are just not subscribed to the channel, then subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and I guarantee you it will make you money if you do it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we post 2 new videos every single week showing you how to make more money on Airbnb, whether it's through investing, managing other people's properties, you name it, we've got it. Twice every week we post new videos, and my goal is just to deliver as much value as possible to you here. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.